Life often feels like an endless cycle of demands. There are expectations from family, work, and friends. Every day, people ask for favors, responsibilities pile up, and the pressure to say yes can feel overwhelming. It's easy to believe that saying no is selfish or wrong. But when we always agree to things that drain us, we lose peace of mind. The teachings of wisdom show us that balance is the key to happiness. A mind weighed down by obligations cannot be free. True kindness begins with being kind to yourself. Learning to say no is not about rejecting others. It is about honoring your limits. When you respect your own well-being, you give the best of yourself to the world. The ability to decline unnecessary burdens is an act of mindfulness. It is a choice to live with clarity instead of exhaustion. It allows us to focus on what truly matters. The following lessons offer a gentle path toward finding peace amid overwhelming requests. These simple insights will help you set boundaries, honor your energy, and live with greater ease. Recognize when you feel overwhelmed. Overwhelm is not just about having too much to do. It is an inner weight that grows when we feel trapped, exhausted, or stretched too thin. The first step toward freedom is awareness. Many people push themselves beyond their limits without even realizing it. They feel tired, but keep going. They feel frustrated, but ignore their emotions. This leads to stress, resentment, and burnout. Recognizing overwhelm starts with paying attention to your body and mind. When you feel drained, anxious, or irritable, pause for a moment. Ask yourself, am I doing too much? Am I saying yes to things that exhaust me? Notice the signs of stress, a racing heart, headaches, or difficulty focusing. These are signals that your inner peace is being disturbed. People often say yes out of habit. They fear disappointing others. They feel guilty for turning down requests. But when you say yes to everything, you risk losing yourself. Learning to recognize when you are overwhelmed helps you take back control. You don't have to carry every burden that comes your way. Noticing your own limits is an act of wisdom. Once you are aware of your exhaustion, you can begin to change. Awareness brings power. Instead of reacting automatically, you can make thoughtful choices. You can slow down, breathe, and decide what is best for you. Recognizing when you are overwhelmed is not weakness, it is strength. It allows you to set the foundation for a more peaceful and balanced life. Understand the root of your discomfort. Saying no is difficult for many reasons. Guilt, fear, and the need for approval create inner conflict. People feel pressured to meet expectations. They worry about what others think. This inner struggle causes stress and discomfort. But the real question is, where does this discomfort come from? Often, the root lies in attachment. People cling to the idea of being liked. They attach their self-worth to pleasing others. When they say no, they fear rejection. But true peace comes from letting go of this need. Your value does not depend on how much you do for others. You are already enough. Another source of discomfort is the fear of conflict. Many avoid saying no because they don't want to upset anyone. But avoiding discomfort only creates more suffering. When you agree to things that drain you, you build resentment. True kindness is not about always saying yes. It is about being honest. The mind creates unnecessary suffering by resisting what is. When you fear saying no, observe your thoughts. Ask yourself, why do I feel guilty? Why do I fear disappointing others? Understanding these fears weakens their control over you. Once you see the root of your discomfort, you can let it go. Saying no does not make you unkind. It makes you free. And in freedom, you can give to others from a place of love, not obligation. Practice non-attachment to expectations. Expectations create suffering. People expect approval. They expect others to understand their choices. They expect life to be smooth. But when reality does not match expectations, frustration follows. Non-attachment does not mean not caring. It means letting go of the need for control. It means accepting that not everyone will understand your choices, and that's okay. You do not need permission to take care of yourself. When you say no, some may be disappointed. That is their journey, not yours. Clinging to their reactions only traps you in unnecessary worry. True peace comes from letting go of the need to manage how others feel. You are not responsible for fixing everyone's problems. You are not here to meet every demand. The moment you release these attachments, a sense of relief washes over you. You no longer feel the weight of needing to please. You begin to live with clarity and freedom. Life flows more easily when you surrender attachment to outcomes. You do what is right for you, and you trust that everything else will unfold as it should. In this space of non-attachment, saying no becomes an act of wisdom rather than fear. Cultivate self-compassion and set boundaries. It is easy to be kind to others, but how often are you kind to yourself? Many people neglect their own needs in the name of helping others. They push themselves too hard. They ignore their exhaustion. But true compassion begins within. Setting boundaries is an act of self-love. It is a way of saying, I honor my own well-being. Boundaries do not mean shutting people out. They mean knowing your limits and respecting them. When you overcommit, you harm yourself. You drain your energy, and soon you have nothing left to give. But when you set limits, you protect your peace. You give from a place of fullness rather than depletion. Self-compassion means recognizing that you deserve rest. It means understanding that your needs matter too. When you speak to yourself with kindness, saying no becomes easier. You no longer feel guilt because you know you are acting from a place of love. Boundaries are not selfish. They are necessary for a balanced life. When you honor yourself, you inspire others to do the same. This is how true kindness spreads, not from overextending, but from leading with wisdom. Pause and mindfully consider each request. Many people say yes before thinking. They react automatically. They feel pressured to respond immediately. But wisdom teaches us the power of the pause. When someone asks for your time or energy, take a moment, breathe. Instead of answering instantly, ask yourself, does this align with my well-being? Mindfulness creates space. It allows you to respond with clarity rather than obligation. Rushing into commitments often leads to regret. But when you pause, you gain control. You make choices from awareness rather than habit. You learn to listen to yourself. A simple way to practice this is to delay your response. Say, let me think about it. This gives you time to reflect. It allows you to check in with your feelings. If a request feels heavy, it is okay to decline. The pause is a gift. It creates the space for mindful choices, and in that space, you find freedom from overwhelm. Speak your truth with kindness and clarity. One of the most important aspects of setting boundaries and saying no is learning how to speak your truth with kindness and clarity. Many people struggle with this because they fear coming across as harsh, rude, or uncaring. They worry that saying no will hurt others or damage their relationships. However, speaking your truth is not about being aggressive or dismissive. It's about expressing yourself honestly while still showing respect for the other person's feelings. When you speak with clarity, you are being direct and transparent. You are not avoiding the issue or making excuses. It can be tempting to say things like, "I wish I could, but," or "I'm sorry, but," which are often used to soften the refusal. While these phrases are polite, they can also leave the door open for further pressure or guilt. Instead, try to keep your response simple, clear, and assertive. A statement like, "I can take on that task right now," or "I'm not able to commit to this at the moment," communicates your boundaries clearly without the need for over-explanation. The key here is to stay grounded in your own needs and limits, and to communicate those in a way that is respectful but firm. By being clear, you help the other person understand your position without leaving room for confusion or misunderstanding. This doesn't mean you being selfish or unkind. It means you are prioritizing your well-being and showing up authentically. Speaking your truth with kindness also means being mindful of the tone you use. You don't have to say yes to everything, but you can still acknowledge the other person's request with empathy. For example, instead of responding with irritation or frustration, say something like, "I really appreciate you thinking of me for this, but I'm unable to help right now." This way, you validate the other person's feelings while also standing firm in your decision. Kindness doesn't mean saying yes to everything. In fact, saying no with kindness is often more respectful than over-committing. It helps prevent resentment from building up, which ultimately leads to healthier relationships. By speaking your truth with kindness and clarity, you create a space where both you and others can respect each other's boundaries, needs, and time. Focus on your present capacity. Life is always changing. Your energy shifts from day to day. Some days, you wake up feeling strong and capable. Other days, even small tasks feel heavy. Yet, people often ignore their own limits. They push through exhaustion, thinking they must always be productive. This is where suffering begins. Many believe they should always say yes if they have time. But time is not the only factor. Energy, mental clarity, and emotional well-being matter just as much. What you can handle today may not be the same as what you could handle last week. Instead of forcing yourself to meet every expectation, take a step back. Ask yourself, what is my present capacity? This simple question can bring profound clarity. Overcommitting leads to exhaustion. When you agree to things beyond your capacity, you drain yourself. You may start to feel resentment, frustration, or even burnout. But when you respect your limits, you can give your best without feeling overwhelmed. You contribute with joy rather than obligation. This is the difference between mindful giving and self-sacrifice. Listening to your present capacity does not mean becoming lazy or avoiding responsibility. It means being honest with yourself. It means understanding that your well-being matters. If you are tired, rest. If your mind is cluttered, take a break before making commitments. If you are already handling too much, say no without guilt. Some people feel guilty for saying no. Even when they are struggling, they fear disappointing others. But true kindness begins with self-care. When you take care of yourself, you have more to offer in the long run. Ignoring your needs only leads to deeper exhaustion. When you respect your capacity, you create balance. Honoring your present state is an act of wisdom. You are not here to do everything. You are here to live with awareness. By respecting your limits today, you create a healthier, more peaceful tomorrow. Accept that saying no is sometimes necessary. Saying no is often seen as an uncomfortable choice. It can feel like you're disappointing someone or letting them down. Society tends to pressure us into saying yes, to be agreeable, and to never refuse a request. However, the ability to say no is not only healthy, but necessary for your well-being. It is not an act of selfishness, but one of self-preservation. Recognizing this and accepting that saying no is sometimes required can bring a profound sense of peace to your life. The truth is, you cannot please everyone all the time. Life is full of demands, expectations, and constant requests for your time and energy. Yet there are only so many hours in a day, and only so much mental and emotional energy you can give. If you try to meet every expectation, you will eventually stretch yourself too thin. You'll end up feeling overwhelmed, exhausted, and resentful, not only towards others, but also towards yourself. Saying no allows you to preserve your energy. When you say no, you are making a conscious decision to protect your mental and physical health. It's a way to ensure that your resources, your time, attention, and energy are reserved for the things that matter most to you. You don't have to say yes just because someone asks. It is okay to recognize when you are at capacity and need to step back. By saying no, you honor your own priorities. You take responsibility for your life and your choices. It is empowering to realize that you are in control of how you spend your time and with whom you share your energy. The more you accept that saying no is necessary, the more you will build respect for your own needs and desires. Saying no is also an act of kindness to others. It sets a boundary that teaches respect. When you say no, you make space for others to find solutions or seek help from someone else. It gives them an opportunity to grow and solve problems on their own, rather than relying on your endless availability. In this way, saying no is a form of both self-respect and respect for others. Accepting that saying no is sometimes necessary can be liberating. It releases the pressure to meet every expectation and allows you to focus on what truly enriches your life. It is through this acceptance that you create a more balanced and peaceful existence.